Don't overthink and don't overdo. Critical to success. Let's talk about it. Roll it. Don't overthink, don't overdo. Why is this so important? We've been talking about patience in the series, and the reality is that we always let emotions get out of control because of our ability to overthink what is going on, create a new narrative, and then of course play it out on an emotional level, not on a logical one. Most people who will be watching my videos will know that it's integrity that needs to be in check. It's integrity and our values. Don't overthink, don't overdo plays out in either a positive or a negative manner. Now, a lot of people will focus on the negative, but the positive is equally as destructive as the negative. How does this look? Well, let's look at the negative first. When we overthink something and we're in a negative spin, we go down this rabbit hole, we dig ourselves even deeper, and we get to sometimes to the point where we can't get out. Humans have this super awesome ability to look at negative, spin it into a negative narrative, and keep going down that route. It's an amazing thing that the human mind can do. It's not as easy to do the positive, but it's easy to do the negative, and this is more because of our society training us in that manner. It's fear-based, and fear is easier to deliver than positive, and mainly because experiences are usually negative. Learning moments are usually negative, and we don't learn until we experience. Now when you hit that negative stream, you got to get yourself out of it, and that overthinking causes you to be in a turbulent manner where emotions take over and you start beating yourself down in negative chatter. So this is where we look at it and we say, don't overthink any situation. What is to be will be. Focus on what can get you to the next point. Now again, this works for any area of your life, whether it's business, careers, or relationships. It's all similar things, and of course your personal growth, that's a critical one. For example, trying to lose weight. I think we've all been there where we're trying to lose weight and we don't follow the diet, we don't follow the routine, and so on. Now on the positive side, well, we can get overly excited. Being overexcited causes us to spin a new narrative. And in that narrative, what ends up happening is we extend the opportunity to something that it may not be. We start thinking into the future, we start overestimating our capabilities, and of course, time. As we overthink things, we start extending even more and more our narrative to the point where we've lost scope. And once we lose scope, well, whatever you were trying to do, it ain't gonna happen anytime soon. Emotions will eventually turn into negative emotions because things aren't being done, and then you start going down the rabbit hole. That's it, all done. To prove the point on this, the successful people that go through our coaching and our programs, it's always shrinking their idea back down to that original idea they had and starting from there. We need to take whatever idea we had and work on that, not the grandiose idea that has popped in our head over the last 3 months of us growing and growing and growing it. This is all part of emotional control and being able to stay calm. This is to say that patience has to play a big role in it. Being calm needs to be patient, and if you didn't watch yesterday's video, I'll link it below. It's all about being patient. It's understanding the limitations that exist, and it's understanding your emotions. Where are you right now? Let's come back to reality. Integrity will play a critical role, and same with your values. What are you doing right now, and how are you making these decisions? Are you overextending yourself on what you're trying to do? Because this is what overthinking does. It brings us to this point of overdoing. We start to overthink, we start to overdo. We don't maintain focus. I was talking to my accountant today, and he was like, yo man, you're doing way too much, slow it down. You're gonna lose focus. yes, I have people like this in my life that sit there and go, hey, let me point out the negative of what's occurring. I take it with strides and I look at it and I say, why are they saying this? Is it actual real, or is it a false narrative based on what they're seeing? And then I take their advice based on what I think is good for me right now, and then I start working towards any changes that need to occur, because we can't always trust what people are saying because they're all coming from their own narrative. I clearly have the capability of working on more projects at once where other people don't, and some have even more bigger capabilities of working on more projects. I know my limits, and sometimes we need to be reminded, are you overcrossing your limits? Are you overgoing? Are you going to lose focus, and are you going to stumble? Because overdoing has two areas where we can look at. On one hand, we're overdoing something that we've thought through and our narrative has changed and we think we're Superman and we're going to do more and more and more on any one idea. And on the other side is what we're capable of. What do we have right now that allows us to think we can? What are your limitations though? That's the question. The focus has to be balance, and balance comes with patience. It's knowing that you have timelines and you will integrate everything in order. It's knowing that things will pop up, and it's knowing that as you get older, values will change, your integrity needs to be aligned, and that purpose may alter a little bit. Where are you based on everything that's happening, not just on business and careers, but on your personal life? Are you balanced? Are you seeing the changes happening in your growth so that you can adjust accordingly? Because if you're continually overdoing, you'll never see the changes coming, and then one day you may have that epiphany of, what am I doing right now, and is this really what I want? And then all of a sudden that overdoing will hit a crash, and then you'll be sitting there going, where do I go from here? Overthinking, overdoing causes us to lose that center. It causes us to lose the scope of where we're going. It causes us to be derailed. Take some time and ask yourself, are you overthinking, whether it's positive or negative, on any one subject in your life, in any area? And ask yourself, are you overdoing on things? Are you over-promising other people and yourself? It will bring a new light of who you are, what your integrity is all about, what your values are all about, and of course, that mission and purpose in life. Hit a comment below if you've experienced this, if you're going through this, or you're feeling like you might start going through it. And of course, hit a like and hit the subscribe button and the bell as well, so you don't miss future videos to get your mindset moving in the right direction.
Snow again.